Daniel was the kind of student every teacher talked about. Always the first to finish assignments. Always the one others came to for explanations. Always top of his class. By SS1, his parents no longer asked what he wanted to become. They told him, "You will be a doctor. You are too smart to waste talent," his father, Mr. Johnson, made sure everyone knew. At church programs, "My son will study medicine." At family gatherings, "Just wait. We are preparing a future doctor. My son is going to be a doctor. Not just any doctor, the best doctor in the whole state." Even at the barber shop, "Don't touch his hair anyhow, oh, Dr. Head." People laughed, nodded, agreed. Daniel would just smile politely. Sometimes he said nothing. Sometimes he said, "Yes, sir." His mother, Mrs. Johnson, also believed it at first. She would tell her friends, "Daniel does not give me headache. He reads without anybody forcing him." So the expectation was set early. Daniel equals doctor. No one asked him if he liked it. No one asked him what made him happy. No one imagined he could want something else. To everyone, the path was already written. Daniel simply followed along because he didn't know how to disappoint anyone. But deep down, quietly, he knew that his heart did not beat for medicine. It beat for something else entirely. He just didn't know how to say it yet. Daniel's love for cooking started when he was very young. Whenever his mother was in the kitchen, he was there too. "Mummy, let me help you wash the tomatoes. Mummy, should we try adding pepper differently today? Mummy, let's put ginger and coriander instead of garlic." At first, his mother thought it was just childhood curiosity. But as he grew older, she noticed something. He didn't just cook. He studied food. He tasted and adjusted. He measured without measuring cups. He combined spices in ways she never taught him. Sometimes she would ask, "Daniel, how did you know that would taste good together?" He would shrug. "I don't know, I just know." But his father doesn't like him being in the kitchen because he believed the kitchen was not for boys. Especially not for his son, the one who was supposed to be a doctor. One evening, when visitors came, Daniel excitedly mentioned something about wanting to learn how to bake bread. The visitors laughed. "You? A boy? Baking bread? Leave that one for girls." His father frowned. "Daniel, don't talk like that again. Focus on your future." Daniel didn't argue, he just nodded. After that day, he learned to be quiet about food. He still cooked, still experimented, still took notes in a small brown book, but only when his father wasn't around. Cooking was his joy, but also his secret. He didn't want to be laughed at again. He didn't want to disappoint anyone. He didn't want to cause trouble. So he kept his real dream inside his chest, quietly burning. And no one, not even his closest friends, knew who Daniel really wanted to be. One afternoon, Daniel was in the sitting room with his laptop. He thought his father had gone out for the day. He was researching culinary schools and cooking courses, comparing fees, locations, and admission dates. He was so focused that he didn't hear footsteps behind him. His father's voice cut the silence. "Daniel, what are you doing?" Daniel froze. His father stepped closer and looked at the laptop screen. He read the page title aloud. "Top Culinary Schools in Nigeria." His father's expression changed immediately. "Explain this." Daniel swallowed. "Daddy, I've been thinking. I really love cooking. I want to study it properly." His father stared at him like he was speaking another language. Cooking, Daniel." Daniel nodded slowly. His father's voice rose. "After everything, after all my sacrifices, you want to throw your brain away inside kitchen. You want to be cooking like somebody with no future. Daniel tried to stay calm. Daddy, it's not a joke profession. People become chefs, they travel, they... His father cut him off sharply. Stop talking. The room went silent. His father pointed at the laptop. You will close this nonsense. From today, you are focusing on medicine. I am not discussing this again. Daniel held his breath. Daddy, this is something I truly want. I don't want to pretend all my life. His father's eyes hardened. You think life is about what you want? Life is about survival, respect, status. Cooking will give you none of that. Daniel's voice became small. So everything I feel doesn't matter? It does not, his father replied. Not when it comes to your future. Daniel felt something break inside him. Something quiet, something gentle, something important. He didn't argue anymore. He simply shut the laptop. But that night, lying on his bed, he realized something. No one was going to fight for his dream. He would have to fight for it himself. He felt alone, completely alone. But a small voice inside him whispered, You know who you are. Don't forget it. Months passed. Daniel finished secondary school with excellent grades. Everyone celebrated. Relatives called to congratulate his parents. The next week, his father came into the living room holding a letter. Daniel, you have been offered admission to study medicine at the University of Benin. The house erupted in joy. His mother hugged him tightly. His father was beaming. My son will be a great doctor. Daniel smiled weakly, but inside and his chest was heavy. That same day, while checking his email, he saw another message. Congratulations, Daniel Johnson. You have qualified for the National Culinary Scholarship Program in Lagos. His heart beat fast. This was the chance he always dreamed of. Cooking school, professional training, a real path. But he knew this would cause war. He sat alone that night, staring at both letters on his table. One was what the world wanted. One was what he wanted. He didn't sleep. The next morning, Daniel gathered courage and went to the sitting room. Daddy, Mummy, I got another scholarship. His father smiled proudly. For what? Engineering? Pharmacy? Daniel swallowed. No, sir. Culinary school. The room went silent. His father blinked slowly. To do what? To become a chef, Daniel said softly. Ha 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 ha. His father laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. It was a laugh of disbelief. You want to go and be cooking for people, after all the money I spent on your education? Daniel tried to explain, but he motioned him to keep shut. I'm your father. I know what's best for you. It's doctor you shall become, and that's final. The admission deadlines came close. Forms needed to be submitted. School fees needed to be paid. Decisions needed to be made. One morning, Daniel stood up early. He had not slept much. His eyes were tired, but his mind was firm. He walked to the dining table and placed 2 envelopes there. The medical school admission letter, the culinary school scholarship letter. His father came out and saw them. Daniel spoke clearly. Daddy, I am choosing culinary school. Silence filled the room. His father's face slowly tightened. So you have made up your mind? Yes, sir. To throw away everything I planned for you. Daniel lowered his eyes. I don't want to throw anything away. I just want to be myself. His father stood up. Then hear me well. If you walk out of this house to chase this nonsense, you are on your own. Will not pay 1 naira. I will not support you. Don't come back here crying. Daniel's chest tightened, but he didn't move. His mother started crying softly. Please, both of you, please. But they weren't listening. His father pointed to the door. Go, since you think life is easy. Daniel picked up his small bag. Just clothes, his cooking notebook, 4,000 naira wrapped in tissue. He turned to his mother and hugged her tightly. She whispered, voice shaking, Whatever happens, I still believe in you. Daniel nodded. Then he walked out of the house. He didn't slam the door. He didn't shout. He didn't turn back. He just walked. Not because he wasn't afraid, but because he had finally chosen himself. Lagos was tough. Culinary school was harder than he expected, not the cooking part, but the cost. He couldn't afford full meals. He couldn't afford transportation some days. He washed plates at a roadside restaurant at night just to survive. There were days he slept hungry. Days he considered giving up. Days he almost went back home. But every time he entered the kitchen and cooked, something inside him came alive again. One evening, while assisting in a restaurant, he prepared a sauce differently from the usual style. A customer noticed. Who made this? Daniel shyly raised his hand. The man smiled. You are talented. Keep it up. That small compliment kept him going for weeks. During a school cooking competition, Daniel prepared a simple dish, jollof rice with smoked chicken, but with a unique seasoning and aroma. People kept coming back for more. One of the judges, a popular chef named Chef Tunde, pulled him aside. Where did you learn to cook like this? Daniel smiled. From home, sir. Chef Tunde nodded. You have something rare intuition. I want to mentor you. Daniel felt like crying. For the first time, someone believed in him. This was the beginning of change. Daniel began to work quietly, steadily. He cooked meals for small gatherings, church programs, school events, neighborhood celebrations. People liked his food. They remembered his name. One day, after a small event, a lady approached him. Are you the one who prepared this meal? Yes, I am, Daniel responded. It tasted warm, like home. My company is hosting a luncheon next month. Would you cater for it? Daniel hesitated. It was a big order. He didn't have enough equipment, but he smiled softly. Yes, I will. His friends helped him borrow pots and serving trays. They stayed up late peeling onions, washing rice, wiping plates. The event day came. People ate. People smiled. People asked for his contact. That was the beginning. Weeks later, someone sent him a link to a national television cooking competition. He stared at his phone for a long time. Can I do this? He wondered. He applied. He was selected. During the competition, chefs presented complex meals. Some mocked his simplicity. But Daniel's dishes carried warmth, the kind of warmth that makes someone close their eyes when they taste food. After the final round, the judges announced results. He came second. Not first, but second, recognized, respected, applauded. People began to ask about the boy who chose cooking over medicine. Restaurants called. Clients booked him months in advance. Daniel opened a small catering office. A simple space. Nothing fancy. But when he turned the key in the door on the first day, he whispered, "This is my beginning." The invitation came on a quiet Tuesday morning. Daniel was arranging plates in his small office when his phone rang. Voice on the phone. We would like your company to handle the catering for the State Youth Empowerment Conference. Daniel paused. It was the kind of event attended by government officials, business leaders, important people. Daniel. Thank you. I'll be honored to handle it. He ended the call slowly. He sat down for a moment and breathed. He remembered his father's words. You are throwing your future away. He smiled, just a little. The day of the event arrived. His team worked carefully. The jollof was bright and fragrant. The grilled chicken was tender. There were fruit platters, small chops, drinks arranged neatly. Daniel stayed behind the service area, making sure everything was perfect. Meanwhile, in the main hall, Daniel's parents entered with other guests. They had no idea who the caterer was. They simply came because the father, a well-known school administrator, had been invited. People began to eat. A woman near them closed her eyes after the first spoon. Whoever made this food, God bless him, this is talent. Another man nodded. They say it's a young chef. Name is Daniel Johnson. Chef Daniel. Daniel's father's hand froze halfway to his mouth. Daniel? His mother looked up immediately. Our Daniel. More people spoke. He's becoming well known. They say he studied culinary arts, opened his own business. Very hard-working boy. The father sat back slowly. His face changed. Not in shock, but in realization. He had not been there. He had not seen the effort. The late nights. The fear. The courage. He had only judged. After the event, Daniel stepped out to greet the organizers. He didn't know his parents were still standing outside the hall. His mother saw him first. Daniel. He turned. Their eyes met. The father approached slowly. He didn't speak for a long time too. Then quietly, I was wrong. Daniel looked at him. No anger. Just calm. I understand. The father swallowed. His voice trembled in a way Daniel had never heard before. You followed your gift and you honored it. I am late in seeing it but I see it now. The mother stepped forward and held her son. Not tightly, but gently with pride. They stood there a while. No raised voices, no speeches, just a family healing. One breath at a time. Months passed. Daniel's name began to appear in newspapers and on local TV programs. Not as a celebrity, but as someone with a lesson worth listening to. One afternoon, he was invited to speak at a youth seminar, the same kind of event where he once sat quietly, unsure of himself. He stood on the stage. No long speech prepared, just his story. When I was younger, people believed I would become a doctor. I believed it too, not because I loved medicine, but because I did not want to disappoint anyone. He paused and then continued. But inside me, there was something else. Cooking made me feel alive. It made me feel like myself. I hid that part because I was scared. He glanced at the crowd, students, parents, teachers. The room was silent. People were listening. Following your true path will not always be easy. People may not understand at first. They may even leave. But peace comes from living honestly, not from trying to impress others. A young girl in the audience raised her hand. Were you ever afraid? Daniel smiled gently. I was afraid every day, but I moved anyway. His father sat in the front row watching. Not as a critic, not as a judge, but as a man learning. After the program, students lined up to speak with Daniel. They told him about music, art, carpentry, photography, fashion dreams they had tucked away. He listened to each person with patience. No advice of do this or do that. Only one message. If it is your gift, honor it. If it is your calling, Follow it. Your life is your responsibility. Live it truthfully. That message spread. Not through posters, not through loud words, but through stories shared quietly one person to another, just the way truth travels.